to give you a hard time.
This is what, remember it, you see?
Just a bit.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, it's just sitting back. I gotta put that back.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third day of the Expression Network's BVAC Women's Open. We have a England versus France encounter. Just welcome to the court, Alicia Mead. And her opponent from France, Stephan. We're going to try a bit harder with a round of applause next match. That was voted. The referee for this match is Villard.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Expression Network's BVAC Women's Open 2023 here in Calgary. This PSA Challenger 12K has been playing out upstairs at the Athletic Club. We are now down to the last 8, so 4 women's quarterfinals coming up for you. And first off, it's England's Alicia Mead, number 8 seed, taking on the number 3 seed from France, Stephan. That's followed by Zeina, the number 4 seed from Egypt, up against New Zealand's Kaitlyn. Garcia, she's up against Enora, Villard, the top seed. And then the final, the last standing Canadian in the draw, Nicole Bunyan, number 2 seed, taking on Ching of Hong Kong. So Alicia Mead from England there on the right of your screen, the number 8 seed, based in Birmingham in England. She's currently sat at 79 in the world, just 5 places off her highest ranking of 74, 27 years old. She's been active on tour since 2015. Came through against Alison Thompson, tough 3-love in her previous round. And she was quarter-finalist at the Monte Carlo Classic in her last event of 2022. This is her first tournament of the year. Up against Stephan, the number 3 seed, ranked just outside the top 50, highest ranking of 46. Similar age, these two, 26 years old, Stephan. Been started on tour same year, 2015. And she has just 1 title to her name, and that was in her debut year. That was back in 2015, which was in Canada, not in Calgary, but was in Montreal. She had a good 3-love win against Amber Alex of Switzerland in round 2. Lost out in the first round at the TOC to Whitlock in 4. And she was semi-finalist at that Monte Carlo Classic. Came through against Alicia Mead in the quarter-final there, and then losing out to Rana Ismail. Johnny Williams joining me for these first 3 women's matches. Afternoon, Johnny.
Afternoon, Vanessa. And that indicates that Stephan knows what to do against Alicia Mead. 3 victories, 2 of those being 3-love as well. And no lengthy battles between these two, so based on that, she's definitely going in as heavy favourite to extend that 3-love out to 4-zip, I would say, Vanessa.
Yeah, it's reasonably recent, their last meeting in Monte Carlo, just end of November of last year. And yeah, that was a 33-minute 3-love in favour of the French player. She's a good athlete though, Alicia Mead. See what if she can do a little bit more damage to Stephan on this court, this fast court. As I said, these women have been playing upstairs up until now at the Bow Valley Athletic Club. Very, very bouncy courts up there. This glass court is also a fast court, but very fast front wall, and does take a shot. If you can find the corners, you will get the rewards. Certainly more so than the traditional courts upstairs. It's our first women's quarter-final. I'm sure they're very happy to be on this glass court after slogging it out upstairs. I think that was fine. That's lovely straight lines by Mead. Very effective on this court if you can really hit down on the ball, get that low line, quite fast-paced drive. Good start for Mead.
Yeah, that's what she has to do, Vanessa. She needs to expose the movement. You can see by her frame she's very compact, very strong, and she'll want to use that pacey court to her advantage. But with a 4-2 lead, that's what she can't afford to do. Give away cheap points like that. Quite a difference in height between these two ladies as well. And you can see that Stephan will be trying to just move the pieces around at the back and get a position where she can use that heavy hitting that she has in her armoury to just displace Mead, and that's another error after a good start, Vanessa, not what she wanted.
No, you're right. I think that is a good shot to use though, that quick two-wall boast to twist and turn Stephan, but yeah, she has to time it well, not overplay it, and obviously get it up. Errors flowing from both rackets.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy, and obviously these girls have been playing, like you said. I mean, this court is lively, and upstairs it's even livelier. So these ladies they'll need a bit of time to adjust to this slightly different environment. We are just literally downstairs from the Bow Valley Athletic Club, which is one level up. You can actually see in the backdrop there in the camera where the viewers are looking down. The Bow Valley Athletic Club is situated on the same floor there.
Oh, she's doing well. She's keeping the pace nice and quick. She's slightly more one-dimensional, Mead, with her racket skills, but she's not giving Stephan any time on the ball.
And there was that big, wide open crack on the sidewall once again that caught Mead napping. She wasn't ready to make that adjustment.
Oh, that was lovely. Stephan was fully expecting that to be quite a low kill. Just paced perfectly.
Well, she's her own worst enemy a little bit here at the moment, Mead. Every time she just sort of gets a couple of points ahead, she is allowing Stephan a bit of a look in.
Very good. Yeah, when she's getting it right, it's very good. Just needs to cut out those errors, as you said, Johnny.
Do not repeat that, Vanessa.
No, there was definitely a few naughty
Expleet,
words in there.
Yeah, there definitely was. 3 game balls here for Mead. She's just settled better between the two, and that's the tail right there. Just error after error.
So Alicia Mead takes that first game, just 6 minutes, leads by 1 game to love. Good start for the English player, hitting with a lot of pace. Nice low line though on her drives, getting that ball running into those back corners and making life difficult for Stephan, who wants to try and control squash from the middle, but wasn't given too many positions around that area. Mead can cut out those errors. She's got a really good chance on this court. She's playing the right tactics. Perfect start for Alicia Mead in this match. She's hasn't beaten this opponent before. Has only once before taken a game off Stephan. See if she can build on that lead. Again, the error. I just feel like she doesn't need to go in short that early in the rally. Just back herself physically and just keep hitting those lines. A few more into the back first.
Well, it was one of Stephan's French compatriots, and you can see that the game plan she was told to put a bit more power into her hitting and a bit more emphasis on making sure that ball is coming all the way through. Just a slight lift in intensity as well from Stephan. It's interesting that especially Stephan, she's struggling with just judging the bounce of the ball. I feel, some of these errors are just really, by her standards, they're quite simple, really.
Yeah, she was getting very ratty with herself at the end of that first. Mead really should have tried to capitalise on that. She's just given away cheap points in the early stages of this second. Which you can't afford to do anyway, but especially against someone who's obviously feeling a little bit out of sorts. And this, this is just lifting her.
And once again, it's Stephan's turn now to plunk another one into the tin. It really is a battle of who is able to just stay a little bit steadier, keep the ball out of the tin. And both players, when the ball just sort of gets to that nagging length, if they just misread it a bit, they're really struggling to get the racket down and behind the ball and just defend well from those deep positions. It was really interesting watching Rodriguez play yesterday, Vanessa, and just seeing, he's going to be a very, very tough customer to get past in this environment. 1,000 metres altitude. And the court, the ball is quickish off the front wall, and it really has a sort of bubbliness, I would describe it. It's just very hard to put it away.
Perfect for his game, isn't it? He looked like he was enjoying himself out there yesterday.
Yeah, and the way he just around the middle, he's adapted his swing. There's no backswing. He's just using it like a forearm jab. It's very clever.
Well, Mead just hanging in there. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. She's just trying to measure those drives a little bit more, drives and cross courts, Stephan. Slightly slower pace.
You can just see the drop of the ball there. It is a little bit tricky in the back corners. It can sort of dip away at that last minute. And once again, it's well executed drive, just a little bit of hold on it. And Stephan's patience is paying off here. It's almost a length game that she's been playing in game 2, Vanessa. Haven't seen too many short plays, just recognising that she had to be very attritional. Good finish. It's a classic sort of 1-2. Mead has been using that quite well. Just exposing the movement of Stephan at times. She's getting caught a little bit out of position, a little bit slow to get in there. That's an awkward bounce, unfortunately.
Three game balls for Stephan. Oh, and another one. Another quick game, 8 minutes. Stephan takes it 11-7, and it's 1-1. Well, much better from the French player. She was very annoyed with herself after losing that first, but she came on with the renewed purpose, a little bit more patience, as Johnny said, and just finding those searching lengths and cross courts. Getting a lot of winners in those back corners. Still good from Mead though, just needs to cut those errors out, find those nice lines that we saw in the first game.
Immediately Stephan forcing an error with just a good serve into the back.
What Mead did a couple of times in that first game is she was hitting those sort of low line drives into the back, but then every now and then she would really cut down on the ball, and she was catching Stephan out with her movement. Just suddenly forced to move forward.
It's a well-measured drop there from Stephan. Quite high-ish on the front wall, but just guided it in nice and tight, and she's the one that's really adjusted to the conditions much better here. See there again, every length shot of hers has Mead stretching back, fishing the ball out of the back corners. And as long as that stays like that, Vanessa, it's very hard to see how Mead, given the past history between these two, she's going to need to step up a little bit more, like you said, and look for those low kills that she played in the first game.
Yeah, it's that slower pace drive. It's really unsettling Mead. She likes to play at a quick pace. She's just throwing off her rhythm. Stephan just has that ability to mix the pace a little bit more. A huge lead now for Stephan in this third game. Lots of cheap giveaways.
You can just see the frustration there about that ball just tipping away. And at 9-love, Vanessa, slowly but surely, Mead just needs to be aware that she might be joining that famed club. It's called the Love Club.
That makes it sound quite nice.
Yeah, it's a nice name for an infamous club. She doesn't want to join it though, that's for sure. But she's officially a member.
Well, never looked like getting a point really in that game. It was complete shutout. Much better from Stephan. Just 22 minutes of play. 11-love, that 5-minute third game. Stephan with a 2-1 lead. Stephan with a 2-1 lead. Better start for Mead. But she's got to be positive on there, try and take that ball in the middle. She's not been winning many points out of those back corners. Wow.
Well, that's a good antidote against the length play of Stephan. Vanessa is within the first 5-7 shots she's been going short. As long as she's that accurate and that sharp. She's catching Stephan, but that's the other side of the coin, of course. There's always that risk attached with this kind of plan, very heavy attacks to the front.
Yeah, great backhand kill there from Stephan. Body weight of Mead was moving back. Well, despite that promising start, Stephan with the slight lead in this fourth. Both players missing the line initially, but it was Mead that put it away.
Yeah, she's fought well to get back into this, Vanessa. There was quick attacks at the start of the game, but actually it's been more through hitting good length that she's drew level at 6-all.
Well, frustrating for Mead, but it's a loose ball. Stephan looking to take it early. Just hanging in. Well, much needed point, that one for Mead. Played it well, she's showing good resilience here.
Yeah, she's just defended better in this game, Vanessa. Didn't have that, didn't show that defence in the back corners, and just a little bit more desperation to stay in the rallies has been the difference.
Oh, it was heavy, wasn't it? The backhand drop, very heavy. Well, despite the efforts of Mead, it's 3 match balls for the French player. It
was a bit nervy, that. You can just see by the way she was taking the shot on, she wanted to go really low. She really wanted to hit the winner instead of perhaps working the ball with a little bit of pace close to the sidewall.
Well, a huge winner, rips that forehand kill. And a huge roar as well. Just under pressure in that fourth. 10-minute fourth game. Stephan takes it 11-8. She wins 3 games to 1 after 34 minutes. A good match between these two. Alicia Mead certainly playing her part. She played a good first game, capitalised on a slightly below par start by Stephan, but probably played some of her best squash actually in that fourth game, Mead, but it was a little bit too late in the game at that point. Stephan able to close it out. moves into the semi-finals. So next match on court, the Egyptian number 4 seed Zein taking on New Zealand's Kaitlyn Watts, and that will be on in approximately 4 minutes' time.
Okay guys, time for our second match of the afternoon. Can you please give a warm welcome to the court from New Zealand, ranked number 81 in the world, Kaitlyn. That was a decent welcome, but let's try a little bit harder. Okay, and her opponent from Egypt, the number 66 in the world, Zein. The referee for this match will be Ben.
Our second women's quarter-final coming up for you. And it is the number 4 seed from Egypt, Zein up against Kaitlyn Watts of New Zealand. So Watts there on the right from Palmerston North in New Zealand, just 21 years old. Currently sat at 81 in the world. 3 titles so far. Turned pro in 2017, so pretty young age she started on tour. Came through against Ali Loke in her first match in round 2, 3-love win. And made it through to the final in her last tournament. That was at the end of last year, Sutton Coldfield International. Lost out to the youngster, the very, very talented youngster from Egypt, Amina Orfi, in that final. Up against another Egyptian player today, Zein, number 4 seed, 18 years old, so still a junior player, hence the goggles, from Alexandria in Egypt. Only been on tour since 2020, and already at 66 in the world, so promising young player. 2 titles to her name, including her most recent win, which was at the Nash Cup end of last year, win against Georgia Adderley in that final. And played in the Hong Kong Open as well at the end of last year, lost out in the first round to the Hong Kong player Kaitlyn in 4. No head-to-head between these two, so first meeting. Looking forward to this one, Johnny. Two very young players.
Yeah, you can see already some pretty slick skills being on display here from this young Egyptian, and that's no surprise. We've witnessed this incredible dynasty the last 20 years of men's and women's squash, just continuously evolving out of Egypt. Having a peek back through last year, Zein was not even playing the World Juniors. Vanessa, imagine being 65 in the world and you're not good enough to go to the World Juniors.
Yeah, exactly. That's the strength of young Egyptian players. But yeah, I'm just looking through her PSA results. Made it through to the final of the Berkhamsted Open as well last year, and taking out some good players. I mean, she beat Katie Maliff in the first round, but that was Maliff retired in the second game, and backed it up with wins against Alison Thompson. Anna Kimberley just lost out to Grace Gear in the final. So that's a really good level for an 18-year-old.
She actually sat 3 rows back from me on the flight over from Frankfurt.
Oh, really?
Well, you know me, I'm pretty resourceful, so I went straight online, and she had a head bag with a racket sticking out, and I went and had a quick peek online through all the names and put a face to the name, and then I knew who it was.
So Watts kicks off this second women's quarter-final.
Zein belongs to this latest brigade of young Egyptian ladies, so need not worry if you are wondering whether or not the top 3 who are dominating world squash, world women's squash, and then with Al Tayyib after having a baby coming right back up there as well, you've got this whole clan of players coming through, already making their way up the world rankings. And you name one of them, Orfi. Farouz Abu El Khair is also coming through. Abu El Makram is coming through, although she injured herself recently. So they can dig deep into the well and know that this that dynasty is just going to keep going. Well, she's only slightly built, Vanessa, but the power coming out of that racket is, you can hear the sound on the front wall. She's, like many of the Egyptian players, just generates so much pace on the ball. And the fist goes up because she knew that that was one of those clutch rallies early on already.
Fantastic start to this match from both players. Got a little fortunate bounce there in the back left, back right, sorry.
Looks pretty composed though, Zein, doesn't she? She's doesn't seem to be too flustered, very calm outward expression. That looked good, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a double. Let's have another little look.
I think she actually got under it, but whether or not there was a carry, Vanessa, I'm not sure. Certainly seemed to get under it, but good phase here for the New Zealander. She needed to. She was getting powered off the court a little bit, and she's found some good lines and put some good defensive patterns in play, which has sort of leveled up now.
Yeah, she's going to have to do that quite consistently. She already sees Zain's ability to hold, use variety and attack the front. Watts can keep the ball away from that middle area. Quick turnaround. Zein was looking quite in control of this not too long ago.
Another clever shot here. Look there, just hit through that, made sure that it just ran tight, and that's the most important thing for her, is getting that ball clinging on the sidewall. Like you said, that way, Vanessa, she cuts down the opportunity for Zein to actually hold the ball. She's having to do a lot of scraping off the sidewalls. That's why she has to be careful, because that drop was played very delicately into the front corner, immediately opening up the chance to close down the rally. Did it well. Oh, that was a big taxi. Or as Zein would know, a tuk-tuk.
It's been a really good little run here from Watts after being down in the first half of this game. 4 game balls for Watts.
Bit fortunate there, Vanessa. There was a lot of open court play, crossing the ball incessantly, and really got away with that. But in the context of what's going on, I feel that Watts, she's certainly got her game plan much more in order. And Zain's going to, if she doesn't manage to get out of this, she's going to have to think about that going into game 2.
Yeah, very well done. Watts taking that 9-minute first game, 11-7 and leading by 1 game to love. Well, it was Zein that had the early lead, and you can certainly see the ability the young Egyptian has if she has a bit of time on the ball. Can hold. She's got a lot of variety to her game, but Watts played really good, simple, containing squash from that midpoint onwards. getting that ball running into the back, nice and deep, nice and wide, and then taking the ball in well straight as well. And it was that middle section, 3 to 8, that really did the damage.
So the New Zealander gets things going here in game 2. Let's see if Zein has had to think about getting a bit more length going in this game. She was just a little bit one-way traffic with her game. When the tide turned against her, she was continuously peppering the ball in the front half of the court. And Watts has been around long enough to know how to deal with that, Vanessa.
Yeah, she played a very organised first game. Watts, clear game plan in place. You do see that with these young, but attacking often, particularly the Egyptian players, that if they're not able to get those positions around the middle, that they often don't have a plan B. That's something that they do need to develop to move up to that next level.
Yeah, even there, Vanessa, that drive was short, and that was a setup for Watts. Very disappointed that she missed that. She's just getting too many positions across the short line where she can execute those straight attacks, and she's doing it really cleverly with a bit of weight, a bit of sharpness, not leaving the ball too short where Zein would be able to use her speed to counter her.
Nice lift there by Watts. Again, just showing that sort of tactical know-how and ability to play defensively.
And we saw in the first match, those back corners, they're quite sticky, aren't they, Vanessa? Ball just stays in there. And it requires a bit of experience. That's a poor error again. To adjust the wrist and just lift the ball out instead of trying to hit it with a regular swing.
Well, she's just lost a little bit of that structure and focus that she had in that first game. Some cheap giveaways.
We've seen multiple errors in the back right, Vanessa. Racket head just a little bit flat from Watts when she's also got to defend a bit better in that back right corner.
Oh, she didn't quite get the width there, Watts, but Zein not quite getting onto it. Really good little phase though from Watts, 7-4 down.
It's a wrong shot, Vanessa. We've seen that a few times. She needed to lift that out, and she's been dropping it when she's under pressure, and she's not able to recover her movement.
Yeah, it's just that lack of defensive abilities, isn't it?
There's no lack of speed, but it's just throwing up the lob. It's pretty simple, really, and these are things that she's only 18. She will learn that, no doubt. Especially watching her contemporaries who fly into the front and then lift it out beautifully. So it's in the balance here. And that hurts. That's unnecessary. It's not the game plan that has been working for her in the first game either.
Nicely adapted. Ball came at her feet. Game ball, Watts.
Just that ability to get up on those volleys. Just a bit more experience from the 21-year-old. She had to hustle and bustle to get through there. Another beautiful volley. Seen that a lot, Vanessa. Good execution. Just able to take those positions around the tee and find the winning shots. And that was important because it looked like Zein was going to level up there at the back end of that game, but Watts is out to 2 love, looking strong.
Yeah, Zein had her chances there. She had the lead at 7-4, but Watts put in a really good spell, cut out the errors, was finding those back corners, and looking really determined in those last couple of points of that game. Put down her marker here at 2 love. So 2 love lead for Kaitlyn Watts in this quarter-final.
Crowd being wooed there by the movement capabilities of Zein, but it's not helping her squash because she's being outplayed. Very good execution of tactics here from Watts. Again, another error back right. We've seen that over and over from the young Egyptian. Just not enough willingness to repeat the drive down the wall and try and manoeuvre her opponent behind her. Looking for more adventurous options with boasts and low kills. And another error, Vanessa. This is 5-1. It's just gone so quick as well.
Well, the ability is evident, but just 18 years old, and that's the difference. I mean, Watts is only 21, but just looks the more experienced of the two. Looked like she came on with more of a game plan.
Another loose ball dealt with, and she showed some good attributes with those straight attacks though throughout this match. Watts. Oh, I should have gone straight there.
Watts' strings went, I think. Well, she needs to be a little bit cautious here, Watts.
Well, that's the type of shot we've not seen from the young Egyptian. I said that before, straightening out of that back right and coming up with the perfect length. And cast your mind back, Vanessa, to 6-1. Watts went for that rather risky trickle boast that didn't come off, and a straight volley drop probably would have done the job to get it to 7-1.
Yeah, there was just a slight hold on that shot. You could see Zein just move forward. Couldn't get balanced on the shot.
Second shot from back in the court. She's 7-5 down, 2-love down, and she's come up with two pretty risky shots, but that's the way Egyptian squash is played. We're used to that.
What's just starting to look a little bit edgy here. A stroke. A lot of bounce on that ball. Just that tension in the arm. Well, she's starting to scramble a bit, Watson. Zein playing some really good squash now. Well, just in time. Back to 9-all.
And that had to be that good, didn't it, Vanessa? Otherwise, the attack drop was on and you're looking at 10-8, so holding her nerve for the Kiwi. And there's the risk with that. I said that before, she got away with it, but you don't get, it's third time unlucky in this case. Deep on that backhand and just overplayed her hand there, and now we got match ball for Watts.
Watts squeezing through in that third game. Held her nerve. 10-minute third game, 33-minute match. It's Kaitlyn Watts that takes it. 3 games to love, 11-7, 11-9, 11-9. Upsetting the seedings. That was a good match, good performance by the New Zealand player. Slightly lower seeded, slightly lower ranked, but going to see a lot of this young Egyptian, I feel. Certainly a lot of ability, but didn't quite have the strategy and the defensive abilities against a player like Watts, who was very organised with what she was doing. So Watts into the semi-final, 2 more quarterfinals to go. And it is Garcia of Mexico up against France's Enora Villard, number 1 seed, up next.
Isn't that great? We've got a tall one for the windows.
I'll figure this out. Right, good place.
Next women's match on court. Diana Garcia of Mexico up against top seed Enora Villard of France. Garcia there on the left. 89 in the world, 30 years old. Has been on tour since 2011 from Mexico City. 4 finals, 3 titles to her name. And one of those titles was this year, where she won the Faltami Squash In Classic, beating Laura Tovar in the final 3-1. She came through against Alex Hayden in her previous round 3-love. That's a good win. Just 26 minutes to dispatch Hayden. There's the French player Villard, #1 seed. Danielle Letourneau unfortunately withdrawing from the event. Moved Villard up to the top seed. 29 years old, just inside the top 50 currently. It's been as high as 37 previously from Aix-en-Provence in France. And also on tour since 2011, so started around the same time, these two. Came through against Raya Nevani in her previous round, 3-love. Just one previous meeting between these two players, and that was a 3-love win for Villard back in 2017. It's my first time seeing Garcia. Johnny?
Likewise, Vanessa. 30 years of age, from Mexico City. But yeah, obviously she's not been completely active on the tour. You can see there that Stephan has booked her semi-final spot. And then Nicole Bunyan, obviously the local favourite for the Canadians, she'll be up next.
The winner of this match will play Watts in that semi-final in the bottom half. Being coached by her compatriot Stephan.
Returning the favour, Vanessa. VR was doing that job in the first match. So it's Garcia from Mexico who gets us going here in the third quarterfinal. Oh, gee whiz, straight up. That's a pretty generous let, isn't it?
Not the best of starts for the referee. Got a racket stuck.
So VR just running with their luck there. Even that second let call, Vanessa, I'd have to query that. And we have it on good word from our creative media guy, Connor Sheen from PSA, that he thinks Garcia is going to take this one and knock the #1 seed out.
Oh, that's a big call. He's usually wrong, though, to be fair.
Thought I'd drop that in while he's ducked out for coffee or whatnot.
Had Zein for 3-love win as well.
You going
The last
VR?
match. I'm going VR, but then I've never seen Garcia play before, so
No,
don't have a huge amount of information at my
it's
fingertips.
slight guesswork, isn't it? Shots like that, she'll work her way into this match nicely. She's got front row support from none other than Cesar Salazar there. He's out of the event after losing to El Shabini yesterday. And the racket skills on display already. That was a nice hold on that drive.
Well, I would certainly be targeting the VR forehand if I was playing against her. It's quite a big swing. If you feel like if you can get that ball really running away from her and tight into that corner, she's going to get into a few technical issues.
Yeah, and it was just on display there. Big movement of the racket head there, needed to be more subtle. Well, that's what you were talking about, Vanessa, that racket head. That's a wild attempt at a volley as well. She's in trouble, and Garcia is already just exposing some of those technical issues in the back corners. Nice, compact sort of swing there, using a lot of wrist. Oh, that was inch perfect. So far, I have to say though, it looks like this could be quite a tussle.
Well, that looked like a miss-hit to me.
That was definitely a miss hit. That was supposed to be a defensive line down deep in the backhand corner.
She seemed happy with it though. She's just trying to hit her way out of really difficult positions in those back corners. There's just no adapting of the swing.
Oh, I can't believe it. That's the third let, which can only be classed. That's a lucky let, Vanessa.
Oh,
I mean, what's going on there?
That's no let
I mean,
all
this
day.
referee, he's handing out lets like Hallmark gift packages. It's just too cheap, really. And adding insult to injury there, just a slightly exaggerated preparation from VR, booking the stroke. So she's using a bit of experience and wiliness to sort of cunningly work her way through this game. And although 30 years of age, Garcia, that's what I kind of mentioned in the lead up, we've not seen a lot of her, and that is what makes the difference here in this type of environment. Just not used to having to deal with those situations, perhaps.
Well, VR with 4 game balls. Another stroke for the top seed. Yeah, that's a poor shot. There's no line there. So 8-minute first game. VR takes it 11-6, and the French player leads by 1 game to love. Well, Garcia not quite getting the tactics right. I feel like she needs to be running that ball into the back a little bit more, particularly on the right-hand side, and then looking for the opportunities, just going in short a little bit too early. And we are quite happy around that mid-court area. That's in those back corners where she could be exposed.
Play will resume in 60 seconds. Play will resume in 30 seconds. Villard leads 1 game to love. Level.
French woman leading 1 game to love and looking to press ahead here. She's got Garcia. That's a good defensive attack there. I don't know whether she really meant it though. No, it was just a little bit fortunate.
Handout, 1-all.
And there's that area. Good straight line. Penetrating through to the back wall, and we are not able to dig it out. Well, it's a lot about just not having the court time in these sort of glass court environments. I feel this is the difference here, Vanessa. She's as we said in the lead up, she's 30 years of age, but we've not seen a lot of her, and you can see that because she's just not been in this situation, I don't think, too much.
Yeah, it just seems to be a little bit of a lack of awareness as well of what she needs to do on there. But saying all that, Villard is making it difficult for her to expose her in those back corners. She's hitting with a lot of pace out of the middle, not giving Garcia much time on the ball. Using the boast really well.
Now we get into the prevented affected scenario. Interesting to have another look at that one. At first glance, I thought this was more prevented, Vanessa.
Yeah, I mean, I just think if you hit your opponent in your backswing, unless it's excessive, the swing, it should always be a stroke.
Well, and Villard didn't clear, did she? So a little bit of poetic justice coming from the Cosmos there as Garcia hit a lucky shot, which ended up getting her the lead now at 5-4. Yeah, it's a loose ball. She's not finding the line there. She's not hitting into that space on the left. It's an opportunity missed. And not just that, Vanessa. I'll go one step further and say that every single decision has either been a stroke or we had those lets that went a little bit fortuitously in the favour of VR, but Garcia's had not one decision go her way the whole match. But a lot of it due to her own lack of awareness about what to do.
Oh, clean winner.
Was that intentional, Vanessa? Oh yeah, it was. Maybe she wanted a bit deeper, but she certainly managed to sort of stop the swing and use a lot of wrists to straighten the ball. Oh, there's that awkward bounce. That was an absolute doozy the way that came out. Have a look at that.
A really good push at the end of this game. 3 game balls for Garcia to draw level. No let given. So Garcia.
One game all. Garcia to serve. Level.
So Garcia gets it going, 1 game all. Let's see, that's a very good way for her to start, get a freebie on the board, courtesy of Villard. We had just a bit of evidence in the back end. That's going to be another stroke. That's been a scenario we've seen so many times.
Yeah, lovely hold. You can see if you watch Villard's movement there. Completely held. Got on that really early. She read the drop. Through that little bit of interference and well straightened. This is a fantastic start for Garcia. And another freebie. Well, the wheels completely falling off in this third game. Error after error.
Hand out. 2-6-2. Hand out. 7-2.
Oh, complete frame.
3-7. Hand out. 8-3.
Well, Villard's completely lost her way here.
Down.
Very, very short rallies.
Hand out. 4-8.
Oh, beautiful forehand.
Hand out. 9-4. No left.
Why not let? Why not let?
For me, it was too good. Hand out. 5-9. Six, 9. Hand
Well,
out.
rally's not going
10-6.
above 3
game ball.
shots at the minute. 4 game balls for Garcia.
Stroke to Garcia.
Stroke awarded.
She's so fun, she doesn't even touch me.
No attempt to get out of the way there. She's going for the straight drop.
11-6.
Miscued it. Big drop off there by Villard, taken advantage by Garcia, who takes that third game in just 6 minutes and leads by 2 games to 1. Well, a disastrous start to that game. Villard hitting a lot of errors, but all credit to Garcia, who played particularly the start of that game very well, built up a big lead. Villard trying desperately to make her way back in, but Garcia closing things out and in a really good position, number 1 seed under threat.
Garcia leads 2-1. Garcia to serve love off.
That's a great shot.
Black love.
Not read by VR at all, that cross court. Good start again. VR just not building really at all. Just getting a little bit desperate. A lot of short balls going in on the service return. No real structure to what she's doing.
And out 1-2. Stroke to Villard.
Room to play there, I thought.
Yeah, but again, that we've seen that the whole match, Vanessa, the lack of awareness of Garcia, just to take a step to the left and
Yeah.
really, you know, force her opponent to go through and play it. But she's,
Yeah, I mean, it's been clear that the way that this has been reffed so far, the message doesn't seem to have gone through. That'll be a stroke as well.
and VR is absolutely all at sea here in Calgary. Although there are no lakes just in the direct vicinity, as far as I know. The Rockies are 80 kilometres to the west. But Garcia's just managed, she's got some nifty skills around the front, and she's managed to get those going. And these kill shots are coming thick and fast now, as Garcia just needed to get a sense of what she needed to do. And now she's got enormous amounts of confidence, and it's the opposite for VR, Vanessa. She's really sinking fast and she's not going to be able to fight her way out of this at the front half of the court. She's defensively going to have to keep the ball going to the back. But these sort of shots from Garcia, these low kills, are just coming beautifully now, and she's marching away in this fourth game.
It's been a severe drop-off by VR, considering she wasn't that far off 2-love up, 7-all at one point in that second game. Just no structure at all.
Well, the drop shot from VR just set up. It was, well, much too loose. Garcia, you feel, would have to do a heck of a lot wrong from here to mess this up, Vanessa. She's, as we sort of said in the lead-up, she's a relatively unknown quantity at 30 years of age, but she's very close to booking a semi-final spot here in a 12K event.
I mean, she's been solid the last couple of games. That ball flies out of court, but she's hasn't really had to do a huge amount to get to this point. VR has been awarding her point after point, cheap errors. A lot of loose balls put away nicely, I must say. 7 match balls for Garcia.
As Connor Sheen just walks in, Vanessa.
Looking very smug.
I'd like to remind you what you said. More often than not, he's wrong, but not in this case. Looks very much like he's going to be right. That was down.
It was. Number 1 seed goes down. Fantastic result for Garcia of Mexico. Just 33 minutes to dispatch Villard of France. 6-11, 11-7, 11-6, 11-3. Garcia into the semi-final. Well, it was all Villard in the first game. Garcia didn't look like she had enough of a game plan, and possibly helped along by the coaching of Cesar Salazar. And she started to get those balls running into those back corners, was forcing Villard to spray the ball out and put away nicely, and the kills really started to work. Last women's quarterfinal coming up, and it's Canada's number 2 seed Nicole Bunyan taking on Cheng of Hong Kong. So our last women's quarter-final coming up for you. That is the last remaining Canadian in the draw. Number 2 seed Nicole Bunyan taking on Ching of Hong Kong. So Ching on the left of your screen there. Currently sat at her highest ranking of 77, just 23 years old. Been on tour since 2017. He's managed to win 2 titles in that time. 2 good wins to make it through to this quarterfinal. Took out Giacchino 3-love in the first round, and then really good win against the Australian number 5 seed Cardwell in the next round. Just 23 minutes to dispatch Cardwell. And she made it through to the final of her last PSA outing, KCC PSA Challenge Cup, losing out to the Egyptian player, sorry, the Malaysian player Aira Azman in the final. She's up against the number 2 seed Nicole Bunyan. Sat just inside the top 50, currently 29 years old. Very tall player, 5'9". I feel like she's taller than that. Turned pro in 2015. 1 PSA title to her name. Came through against the other Hong Kong player, Ching Haifeng, in round 2. That was a 3-1 win. She's been playing a lot of the big PSA tournaments in last season. So round 1, round 2 losses, but she's trying to make that transition to playing the bigger events. No head-to-head, no previous meetings between these two. And joining me for this last women's quarter-final, former Canadian professional, former world number 10, Graham Riding. Graham, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Nice to be on the hot seat here. This is fun. We haven't done this in a while.
We haven't. Yeah, it was last year, wasn't it?
Last year sometime. So.
We were getting all the former Canadian players in that week.
That's right. Yeah, it was all
including
Canadian.
your wife, who was really happy about it.
She's much better commentator than me, but no head-to-head here, though. I noticed that. So both players are probably going to come out here, focus on what they like to focus on, and try to feel each other out and test each other early and sort of see if they can get a little glimpse or learn a little something about what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, you get to a stage in your career where it's strange to play someone you've never played before. You often come up against the same players over and over again. I've never actually watched a Hong Kong player before. It's my first time seeing her, possibly her first time on SquashTV. She's
only 23, so here we go. Off we go.
A lot of good players coming out of Hong Kong at the minute. Good female players. They've obviously got a good group over there.
Well, they got a lot of history of good squash in Hong Kong, with the Hong Kong Open being around, one of the more established events on the tour. That always helps create culture and inspire some kids.
Absolutely. Must have played that a few times.
A couple of times. It was always a fun trip. It was always the beginning of the sort of traditional squash season, end of August, early September. Always felt like you're getting off the airplane and walking into a dishwasher. It was so humid.
Yeah. And then onto a freezing cold glass court in the Hong Kong Centre.
Extra air conditioning, but great event. They always host us really well. Amazing city. Fun way to start the season.
Down.
Vanessa, what would you typically do back in the day when you were playing somebody new for the first time? How would you approach it?
I'm not sure I had much of an approach back then. Certainly more analytical about the game now than I ever was when I was playing. I mean, we didn't we didn't really have things like SquashTV back then. Now they have the opportunity to possibly have a look at players.
Right. Yeah.
You'd hope you'd at least have seen them play before you get on court with someone. But yeah, as you said in the first game, maybe just put that extra ball into the back, just get a feel for things, test them out a little bit.
I remember being coached as a kid, like even in the warm-up, you know, throw a few balls up high, you know, just try to pay attention to see if you can pick up anything in the warm-up. But certainly the first couple rallies and the first half of the first game.
Yeah, you can glean a lot of information early on, really, can't you?
Sure. Hit a couple boasts in there, see how they move.
Yeah.
Decent start here for Nicole, up 4-2.
Yeah, she's a nicely organized player, Bunyan. Analyzes the game well. And she certainly won't be underestimating this slightly lower ranked player. You have to play the conditions here a little bit as well. It's quite a fast court. Obviously that little bit of altitude, just 1,000 meters, but still significant for players that aren't used to that.
It makes a big difference. The ball's really traveling through the air faster than you would if you're normally training at sea level. It makes a big difference. Not only just how fast the ball's traveling through the wall, but the oxygen that's getting into your body and that sensation. It takes a bit of an adjustment for sure.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a few players drop off maybe more severely physically than you might expect, or that they may be expected of themselves. You have to maybe just pace yourself a little bit early on in the match.
Yeah. It's almost like you can't afford to get on the end of a few rallies and do the retrieving that you would maybe be normally comfortable with. You almost have to be strategic and let a few of those points go and try to really budget where you can expend your energy. Oh, the RB.
6-5.
Completely wrong footing, Ching there.
Now, 7-5.
She's definitely taller than me. I'm 5'9".
You questioning the stats here
I
in
am.
PSA database? Right. She's a good athlete, Nicole.
She's a sort of part-time personal trainer as well, actually.
Okay.
She does a lot of stuff online. She's got her own program geared towards training for squash specifically. So she's got a lot of knowledge about the physical side of the game. Squashletic, it's called, for anyone interested.
Stroke to Bunyan.
Well, I'm sure she's played in Calgary a few times over the years, so this would maybe be a slight advantage for Nicole on home soil. Been in Calgary a few times. I'm sure she'd perhaps be a little bit more comfortable with this situation than Ching.
Hand out. 6-8.
Yeah, I've got her down as semi-finalist of this event last year, which was here as well on this very court, in this venue.
And that does help. If you've had success in a tournament in the past, it sort of certainly
Down. Hand out. 9-6. Stroke to Bunyan. 10-6. Game ball.
4 game balls for the number 2 seed. been the more solid of the two
7-10, game ball.
so far. Even though it's a fast court, there's still winners to be had in those back corners if you can get the right pace. Got to really hit down on the ball, a lot of cut. And there's the error from Ching.
Feel like it was really a game of who was sort of able to control the ball on the walls a bit better than the opponent. There was a few balls in the middle from Ching. I think Nicole took advantage of that, and that was the difference.
So Bunyan with a 1-love lead in this last women's quarter-final against the young Hong Kong player. It's a bit of an adjustment as well for the women. They've been upstairs up until now. This is their first outing on the glass court, and those courts are very bouncy.
Yeah, those would be typical panel courts. It's already lively here with the altitude and whatnot. The panel courts makes it even more lively. So this would be a nicer court to play in if you've got sort of ball control and you're looking to measure your length at all and take it into the corners. This would be a more rewarding court.
Definitely.
Still lively, don't get me wrong, but you should get rewarded for putting the ball in the corners here.
3-1.
Seems to be suiting Bunyan's game quite well.
I feel like she might have upped the pace a little bit here coming out of the beginning of the second.
I think tactically you have to keep things quite simple on here, quite straight, and she's doing that quite well.
Choice.
Lovely lift.
I like that shot
4-1.
selection there. Mixing the pace up, showing the drop, and then just lifting it into the back. After hitting pretty sort of hard and playing fast for the first duration of that point. Good variety.
Yeah. 5-1.
There's been a few unforced errors on the forehand side there for Ching.
Yeah. Yeah, good lead already. No time at all. Little fake, little racket wave.
6-1.
I feel like she's getting some momentum going here. The confidence seems to be building a bit.
That was a lovely shot. It's a sort of slower paced, sort of
7-1.
touch drop doesn't seem to work quite as well, or it's very risky on this court because
Right.
it's a fast front wall if someone just gets onto it quickly.
Yeah.
So putting it in with cut and a bit of pace just takes a bit of risk out.
Crisper hit with a little bit of urgency.
2-7.
Yeah.
I remember that. I'm going to practice that next week when I'm on the court myself. It's a good tip.
Still playing a bit?
No, not at all. I was hoping you weren't going to ask me. Good length here by Nicole. Showing some patience.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well played.
Hand out. 8-2.
Look at that.
Nice combination of heavy, deep length and then a couple little 1-2 punch and drops in the forehand and the backhand, or sorry, the backhand and the forehand. Nice aggressive squash.
Very good. Mostly straight, isn't it? But good severity.
Down.
Oh,
Hand out. 3-8.
I don't think she would have been expecting it to be this comfortable.
Two
4-8.
quick mistakes. Time to reset. Hit your way back into the match here. Nice tight ball.
5-8.
Yeah, sometimes when things are almost unexpectedly going really well or too well, it can throw you off.
Yeah.
You start to question yourself.
Yeah, especially if they're quick points, right? You get into a rhythm of winning the points quickly, and then you try to force that and keep that
6-8.
quick sort of momentum or pace going. But sometimes you have to reset and just rally it out a bit and get
Yeah.
yourself back into some fundamentals.
Or your opponent just lifts their level, which has also happened here, and you're not quite ready for it. Back to within 2 points.
Yeah, Cheng has definitely
7-8.
raised her game here after a slow start.
Right box, please.
Ball's not in the middle anymore. She's hit a tight ball. Got rid of those forehand errors.
Nice little combination there. Bunyan with
9-7.
the boast, and then followed up. Takes the boast well, actually, as well, this court. Also takes a bit of risk out if you want to go in short with the 2-wall boast. That's out.
10-7. Game ball.
3 game balls for Bunyan for a 2-love lead. Oh, that's a bit lucky.
Hand out.
It's a great rally. It's
Really good rally.
Good back and forth there. Got to be good to be lucky. Isn't that the expression?
Yeah, Bunyan was doing a lot of defending there. before, actually, but it's true. The luck is usually with the player that needs it the least.
No way. No way.
Don't disagree with that call. I think her drop sat up a bit.
9-10, game
Cheng
ball.
took advantage.
So just one game ball remaining for Bunyan. Oh!
Jeez.
Hit one of those little screws, or big, massive screws in the panel. Look at this.
That Jonathan Power court showing that it's got a little, it's got some funny spots to it. I'll have to talk to him about that next week.
I totally forgot that this is the Jonathan Power court. We haven't even mentioned that yet. It's got a really dead spot in this back left, which I was just about to mention.
Really?
And Ching found it.
Timely.
So Ching earns herself one game ball. And steals the game.
12-10, game to Ching, 1 game all.
Huge effort at the end of that game from the Hong Kong player. She takes that second game in 10 minutes in the tie break, and we're all level after 19 minutes at 1-1.
Well, I wouldn't have called that at the halfway point of the game. It looked like Nicole was looking like she was in a pretty strong position to go up 2-love. I'm sure she's questioning herself right now what happened, but I think Cheng did a very good job to reassert herself, and we got a 1-1 match here.
Level.
Well, game on. Huge comeback by the Hong Kong player, 8-2 at one stage, and 10-7 as well in that second game. So a bit of a reset required for Bunyan.
Sure, she's going to try to find that form that was there at the beginning of the second game and just try to reassert herself. But Cheng feels like she's sort of hit her way into the match here, and her confidence will obviously be a bit higher now.
Yeah, that's the test, isn't it, mentally, when that happens? You have a lead in a game. just, you know, staying composed and not panicking, going back to that game plan.
Hand out. 2-1.
I feel like a faster pace is not a bad thing for Nicole. She's fit, strong athlete. I feel like if she keep the pace high, it might work in her favor here.
Yeah, well, she did exactly that. Just that extra bit of pace injected on each shot and just gets the ball through a little bit more, forces the opponent onto the back foot.
One.
Good start again.
Yes, left.
Yeah, there's a bit of space there.
4-1. Hand out. 2-4.
I see what you mean about the boast. I've seen a few either positions created or winners outright.
Yeah, slightly short length, and then it whipped in with a lot of pace. And again, she's got it back though. Oh, that's lovely.
3-4.
Straight kill, just shoots off the front wall.
Yeah, that was a nice combination. 3 or 4 shots of just pressure. You know, not really going for the outright winner, but just pressure after pressure after pressure. Eventually, it gets the job done.
3-4.
Well, she looks disappointed with that call, but I feel like she could have played that. It's a good squash crowd in Calgary, good squash scene.
Looks like it. You know, I haven't got to say I haven't been here in a few years, so I'm kind of interested to talk to a few people and get a feel for every squash community coming out of the pandemic. It's sort of, there's always a bit of an excitement to it. And
How they've weathered that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really good club, just 2 floors up from where we're sat here, the Bow Valley Athletic Club.
6-3.
Yeah, they've done a great job with investing some money and building that club back up. It's nice to see. It's the first time I've been there in years, and it's fantastic.
So you'd seen it in its former
I did.
state?
Not years ago, you know, 10 or 15 years ago. And they've definitely put a nice polish on the Bow Valley Athletic Club.
Well, that lead is disappearing once again.
No, Ching's not going away. She's showing that she's here to compete. There's no question.
2 errors again from Bunyan.
Feels like she's forcing it a little bit. I think she needs to have some patience. And you were talking about simplifying things at the beginning. I think that would work for her right now. Sometimes you can try too hard.
Yeah, just overcomplicate the tactics, or try and get a quick point on the board if you're panicking.
Keep it simple and just let it come. Back to her.
Oh, what a rally. Wow, well, there was some opportunities there, certainly for Bunyan. Just picked the wrong side on a couple of occasions. Great rally.
Sure, Nicole feels like she should have won that point a few times.
Yeah. She's digging in though, isn't she, Ching?
Yeah. It's getting physical right now. These girls be feeling it right now on their legs.
Not up.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, she got that.
Yeah.
Ball was down. 8-7.
It's hard to tell. She sort of jammed her racket into the neck.
Bunyan looking to recompose herself here. Take a few breaths. Reset. Oof.
Hand out.
Yeah, there's that long
8
range,
ball.
sort of not quite a drop, not quite a kill, but it's really effective on this court.
Quite a brave shot under the circumstances.
Yeah, that's a really good shot against a tall
Hand out.
player like Bunyan.
9-8.
She's a long way down. Really heavy cut on the ball.
She got away with it.
Hand
She's a
out.
bit lucky there, I feel.
9-all.
Possibly going short a bit too early there, but 9-all to say this is a big point is a modest understatement.
Another tough rally, hard work put in, rewarded. Bunyan has game ball. Good pressure here from Nicole. Again, the boast.
Hand out. 10-all.
Cheng is doing a good job of absorbing that pace. I thought Nicole was asserting herself pretty well there.
So into a tie break.
Yeah.
Nice tight shot.
Hand out.
Just going for the percentage
11-10,
tight ball.
Game ball.
10-all, that's a strategically good decision, I would say.
Yeah, just ran nicely into the side wall, didn't it? Second game ball for Bunyan.
Ching not afraid to attack here, down game ball. She's either tired or brave, or a little bit of both.
Oh, wow.
Hand out.
She almost looked like she
11
guessed a
all.
little bit in the front right there. It's a little bit predictable maybe from Bunyan. Very nice finish.
Good touch.
She's playing big points very well, isn't she?
Yeah, she's showing some good IQ here. Oh, take that.
Hand out. 12-11. Game ball.
I've seen Johnny Williams do that a few times back in the days. You know what I'm talking about? No? Is it
Is
look?
that what he was known for?
Yeah, yeah, a couple.
Any
More
winners?
in league, not really in PSA, more in league.
Out.
Oh,
She comes right, Ching comes
And
right
out.
back with the
12 all.
cross court
yeah.
nick off the serve. Aggressive squash from both women. You're welcome, Calgary.
It's the 6th game ball in total that Ching has been able to defend successfully.
Down. Hand out.
Gonna have to try it for a
13-12.
7th.
Game ball.
Oh, wow. Just those opportunities sometimes. Bunyan just picks the
13
wrong
all.
shot, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm. Forcing it a little bit.
Hand out.
Good game.
14-13.
Huge
Game
third
ball.
game.
What match ball are we here now?
Game ball number
Sorry, game ball.
5 in this game, I think. And she had 3 in the previous game.
Wow. That'll do it.
Done it.
15-13.
Having to work very hard
To Bunyan. Bunyan leads
to close
2
out
games
this
to
third
1.
game. Could be crucial. "35 minutes so far, 14-minute third game. Nicole Bunyan taking it 15-13 and leading 2 games to 1.
It felt like that game was a mix of good offense and perhaps a few unforced errors that both players would want to have back. But at the end, I think Nicole just showed that she really wanted it. She played a couple big points at the end very well. Up 2-1.
Bunyan leads 2 games to 1. Bunyan to serve. Level. 1 love.
We'll see if Bunyan can capitalise on that momentum.
Yeah. 2 love.
Usually goes one of two ways, doesn't it? After a huge game like that, one person
For
either
sure.
falls away or is able to push on.
Usually it's an advantage mentally to win a close game like that, especially at 1-all. But it was a physical game, right? So, you know what?
Yeah, exactly. Unless you've completely depleted
3
yourself
love.
physically, it's there's a big sort of psychological advantage.
Yeah. So physically, is Cheng ready to respond here? She's probably a little bit physically wounded by the last game, but can she dig deep and reset here? Nicole looks like she's bouncing around.
Started well in every game, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Bunyan, she's had the lead, quick leads.
Good choice.
4 love.
She read that one on that early. Nice quick counter punch.
Handout. 1-4.
Be great for the tournament to have a Canadian player in the semi-finals. She's the number 3 in Canada. So with Holly Norton and Danielle Letourneau, who's just coming back from injury. Danielle, she was supposed to be here actually. She was top seed and then had to pull out
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
minute.
No, you're right, Vanessa. Though,
2-4.
like, you know, Holly and Danielle, they get a lot of attention, but they deserve it. You know, they're both top 20 or.
Yeah, Holly's just inside top
just
20.
inside,
Danielle
and-
would have been, but she's obviously dropped away with
Yep.
injury.
But Nicole deserves some attention here. You know, she's been competing well with these girls and a solid number 3 in the country,
Yeah.
5-2.
showing that there's some depth in the women's game here in Canada.
Handout. 3-5.
Well, not allowing her to completely pull away in this fourth.
Yes, let. He's attempting to clear your inner back. Yes, let.
I feel like she could have stepped in and played that one.
Yeah, she sort
3-5.
of got her racket a bit tangled up. Oh, the reverse angle again.
Handout.
Couple
6-3.
RBs this game. Did Nicole hit the last one as well?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
gonna
from the
become a
same side.
signature shot pretty soon. My kids always get in trouble when they hit that shot.
Junior players love it. Yeah, it's overplayed a bit, don't they?
Handout. 4-6.
Just feels like Cheng has been behind the whole match and she just keeps clawing her way back and she won't go away.
Down. Handout. 7-4.
Very nicely played.
8-4.
Darren Thompson in the front row, clearly appreciating the quality there. I feel like Nicole has lifted the ball a bit more in this this game. A bit more consistent length. It seems to be sort of opening the court up for her a bit and taking the pressure off.
That was a slightly nervy error. Sort of strange shot selection, that one. She needs to keep things very simple here.
Yeah.
No let.
A bit late on that, I think.
Yeah.
No let.
Classic going short too early.
6-8.
It's hard not to. You're up. You're trying to put a match away. It's hard not to want to just attack and
get over that finish line.
You need to be disciplined and be. Oh, she's going to want that one back.
That is an edgy,
7-8.
edgy error. What a gift.
The favor returned.
Oh, how happy Bunyan have been to see that going to the bottom of the tin.
Yeah. Can she capitalize?
2 points away.
Hand out. 8-9.
You know, sometimes you need to respect that your opponents hit a good length and just back off that volley and go back and not force it. Because even if she hit that, what was she going to do? It's just going to be a hack sort of volley into the middle of the court probably. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Well played. Nice response.
Hand out. 10-8. Match ball.
2 match balls for the number 2 seed. Sure we'll hear a big noise from the crowd if she can get over the line here. She's done it.
11-8. Match to Bunyan. 3 games to 1.
Backhand volley finding the tin.
12, 13, 11-8.
Great game. Popular result. Number 2 seed Nicole Bunyan through in 4 games. 11-7, 10-12, 15-13, 11-8. Crucial 3rd game.
Just felt like she was able to impose herself physically a little bit in the last game. Cheng might have been a little bit tired from the tough 3rd game. I think Nicole established her length well, and ultimately I think she really wanted it.
Well, that's it for the women's quarterfinals. And that is our lineup for tomorrow's semi-finals. New Zealand's Kaitlyn Watts will be taking on Diana Garcia of Mexico. And then Nicole Bunyan, number 2 seed, up against Stephan of France. Those semi-finals commencing at 4 o'clock tomorrow.